Hey, how about a fan episode? Let's hear what fans got to say about the Spurs at the midseason point.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Locked On Spurs right here on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have y'all back. And thanks for subscribing to Locked On Spurs, wherever you get your favorite podcast. You know where to go, from the Ken's 5 app to iTunes to YouTube to Spotify. Pick a platform. We are there. The Locked On Spurs newsletter, free and available right now as well. If you're on YouTube, click on the description below. You'll see a link. Made it very easy. LO Spurs newsletter. Click on that. Completely free. Hits your email inbox every single day. Hey, today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. What are we talking about today? Well, as y'all been noticing, this whole week we've been doing midseason grades. So Monday we tackled the guards collectively. Yesterday we did the bigs. But I think it's about time we get the pulse of the fan base. What are fans feeling about the team at the midway point? What would their grade be? What would our fan guest grade be? And he looks at the guards, when he looks at the bigs, when he looks at just the whole team as a whole. We're going to be discussing that and then some trivia. Yeah, our guest has a little surprise for everybody if you guess the trivia, or at least you get it right. Just put it that way. And we'll see if he's allowing Google or AI to help you out. I don't think he's going to let you do that, though. I don't think he's going to let you do that at all. But, hey, look, the Spurs, they get back in action tonight versus the Clippers. Back in San Antonio. Should be a good game. Just a heads up on that. Kawhi Leonard is back. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, that reaction is going to be so much fun, huh? You know, remember the last time he was in town? Don't boo him, Popovich. So I just say, Spurs fans, just have at it. Just have at it. You know, you pay your money, go enjoy it. And if it means booing Kawhi, have fun. But keep it safe out there and don't push the envelope. So Spurs Clippers tonight. And good luck, Spurs. And hopefully they can erase that ugly taste from their last loss in France. They got throttled. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our fan guest. I wonder who it could be. A little bird tells me that, I don't know, he's pretty chummy with the Transformers. You know, he's worked with them. Yeah. You think that should give it away, right, everybody? He is back, everybody. Look who is back. It's Mr. Nathan Ray Clark, the guy from Corpus Christi, Texas, out in L.A., doing it well on the small screen, on the big screen. Nathan, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. Glad to be back, man. Glad to be back. I got to say, when you mentioned, Kawhi coming into town, playing the Spurs, I'm just wondering, what's he going to do if Pop's not there to play D for him? You know?
Put that undone.
It's,
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, I wish I was there for it.
Yeah, I know. Well, you rep the Spurs out in California and LA. You got the jersey I sent you last year. So when you check out those games, by the way, cool hat. That's a very cool hat you got on right now.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I love this thing. This is so for those watching who don't know, I got this from Bexar County Social Apparel. It's a great online store. They have all kinds of San Antonio Spurs inspired merch and clothes and stuff. I got this one, and you can clearly tell, or you should know, you should get a hint from the design of what this is, so
It's
with the tip of the hat, the Wemby.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
The material's great. It looks sharp. My wife likes it. So that's, then I know I got something good here. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not, guy didn't pay me or anything to wear this, but
sure he did.
But a shirt would be nice.
Yeah, there you go. Lifting it up, Mike. Mike Baez, who runs Bexar County. A shirt would be nice for Mr. Nathan. Look, he's like far away from home. He's far away from home.
Exactly.
He reps the Spurs out in California in enemy territory with Lakers in Clipperland.
Yeah,
So,
and no good brisket. I need some good brisket. I need a T-shirt and I need some good brisket. That's all. That's all man can ask for.
All right. So Nathan, first of all, congratulations. Recently, I know you're on a new TV show. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Just overall, I hope you're doing okay with the California fire. Is everything all right?
Yeah, no, everything's good out here. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so where I live is actually like a good distance away from the Palisades,
Okay.
and then there was a fire in Altadena near Pasadena. So those are fairly set aside, but I do know some people who have had like either family houses have burned down and things like that. So that's actually something I wanted to bring up on here that anybody who's watching or listening right now, if you want to help out in any way, I highly recommend going to lafoodbank.org. It's the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank. There's a lot of folks here who are displaced because homes burned down or they can't go back to their homes, even though nothing's happened to them. It's just they happen to be in this disaster area. So any little bit of money that you can chip in to help feed some people, because there's a lot of folks out here who are kind of struggling right now, and so every little bit helps. It's kind of one of the beautiful things. One of the beautiful things I'll just say this real quick about out here is that as soon as this stuff went down, really quickly, like there were so many people who came to aid. As far as volunteers donating stuff to the first responders, and firehouses and such. So. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see when a tragedy like this happens that people can come together.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you were safe. Your wife is safe, and and you're here just to promote any type of relief help that anybody can give. Yeah, exactly.
And hats.
Go ahead.
Free shirts.
Yeah, and hats and free shirts. Bear County. Did you listen up? By the way, everybody, make sure to follow Nathan on X. Is probably the best way. I think it's just simply, Nathan Ray Clark. It makes it very, very simple for you. Follow him there. And you might want to keep that in mind because he's going to be talking about a new show that he's on in just a few minutes and how you can check it out and support the hometown kid from Corpus Christi. And more importantly, the big-time Spurs fan. Repping the Spurs in enemy territory, everybody. He goes to the Lakers games and Clippers game in Spurs gear. I know. I sent him Spurs gear. So he wears it. You're a brave man, Nathan. You're a brave man.
I got no choice.
You got no choice. Yeah.
I got no choice. This is how I look.
That's how you are. All right. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Why is Nathan here? We're going to get the pulse of the fan base right now. Mid-season grades, fan viewpoint. So that's where we're at. So Nathan, before we get just the overall vibe of the season for you and from the representing the fan base, let's start off just your quick take on what we already talked about was the guard core and then the bigs. So from Wemby to Big Mamu to Zach Collins to Chris Paul, Trey Jones, Blake Wesley, Steph Castle. We tackled them the last couple episodes, but to start off with the guards, what would your grade be for these guys? Anybody you want to single out and say, he's been doing good, maybe he could use some work. What would your grade be?
Overall F. No.
Right off the bat. Chris Paul, you suck.
Exactly. And I know I'm gonna go on X or Twitter and there's gonna be people like, oh yeah, no, he's absolutely right. It's definitely an F.
No, yeah.
I mean, for me, overall, I would probably say like C minus D plus.
Okay.
Like that's the way I kind of look at it. I think there's moments where, every player has their moments. Chris Paul, for the most part, like I grade him higher than everybody else just because he's the veteran presence that this team needs right now. And, and also his passing as well. His passing has been fantastic. He's not necessarily the explosive player that he used to be, but for what he has in experience and knowledge that he can impart on these young Spurs players, I think is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. I would add to that by saying, with Pop out due to illness, it's almost like a seamless transition from leadership role. You got somebody who's there, who's being the coach on the court. I know he'd said he didn't want to come to San Antonio just to be a player coach, but he's kind of, by default, that's happened, Nathan.
Yeah, and I kind of gather that that's what a lot of veterans like him, anytime they go to like another team, they're not expecting to be in that position, but it ends up becoming that way because you got a lot of young guys around you who haven't been in the game that long, don't necessarily, know the ins and outs. So yeah, I'm very happy that he signed with the team. We'll see how it goes into next season.
Yeah.
I mean, going on Trey Jones for the most part, I don't really have, much to say. I kind of feel like with him, things have definitely been on the spotty side.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's hot, sometimes, not so much. So Trey, and I hate to say this, but we'll put it this way. I think anybody on the team for the most part is game to be traded or gone except for Wemby and Vassell, and Castle. Which Castle, kid's phenomenal. And I know that's one of the things that one of the biggest issues that the Spurs have right now is we don't have like an elite point guard. I mean, we have Chris Paul, but I mean, we need a young guy who can come in and make plays and stuff. This is his rookie season, but I'll tell you what, man, I am so impressed with this guy. And I know I'm going to sound like a Spurs homer, but I mean, he's definitely a candidate for rookie of the year. You see the way this kid plays with such confidence and defense as well. Like, I don't, I like the kid. I think he's got some, dogfight in him. I definitely think, he's going to have room to improve, and I think he's definitely going to do that.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll bring home to San Antonio a dunk contest award trophy. I really do. He's
right.
He's going to be taking part in the San Francisco All-Star game and Traverse City, San Antonio, the dunk contest. No Spurs ever won that contest, so hopefully Castle will be one. But yeah, for me, I gave Castle an A when I graded him. All things considered, was considered a weak draft. This is the best it's going to get, in this draft for number 4 pick for San Antonio. And man, he's turned out to be a very promising two-way player. Defensively, he brings it. Offensively, he brings it. Other room to improve. Yeah. Shot needs to improve. Nobody's surprised there. We all knew that coming into his rookie season. But there's a lot of upside, minimal turnovers. I think this month, Nathan, only about 2. That's it for a rookie. That's it. That's what the average is. So all things are good. Before we transition to the bigs, any other guard you want to highlight and give a grade to?
Honestly, I would probably be doing them an injustice if I could think of anybody else. But just to piggyback off of Castle real quick, I completely agree. I mean, the fact that he's a rookie and that he's been able to accomplish these things, and
sure,
I'm always curious about the follow-up season, the second season, their sophomore season, whether or not, because I've noticed that at times. I've seen with George Hill. When George Hill came in, like, he was, fantastic his first season. And then the second season, a lot of players end up kind of like not quite the same. There's something going on. But
yeah,
regardless.
Yeah. Castle, just really eye-opening. And what he's doing right now, he's definitely one of the odds-on favorite to win the Roy. Imagine that for the Spurs, back-to-back Roy winners, Wemby and then Castle. Right. That'll be awesome. We're talking with Nathan Ray Clark. He's from Corpus Christi, Texas, now living out in California. He's doing it right on the big screen, on the small screen, from literally working in with Transformers. I'm not kidding, everybody. He's done that for the promotional for the movies, and then from Two Broke Girls, Modern Family, and an upcoming. Well, now I think it's now available. Now I think it is, Nathan. Right?
Yeah, it's out now.
I think it's out now, but we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. That's what we call a teaser, everybody. We'll tease you what we're going to be talking about in just a few minutes. Again, Nathan Ray Clark, following it on X at Nathan Ray Clark. Very simple. Hey, but first, let's talk about game time. Attending NFL playoff games is an unforgettable experience and brings fans together. I remember one of my first NFL game, from the tailgating, the fan experience, to eating the good food that was there. Going to NFL games is fun. And now with the NFL playoffs here, well, you can connect with other fans. Hey, I'm pretty sure you got a lot of good memories going to an NFL game. And Game Time. That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. It filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Look, just pick an upcoming game, Super Bowl come around the corner. Game Time will be there for you. I recently used Game Time Picks to find tickets, not just for an NFL game, but also for NBA games. Surprisingly, the deals were simple. I found great values for all kinds of seats around the venue. The super deal was especially impressive, offering the best value for the event. The app features, like seat views before you buy, all-in prices, no surprise fees at checkout, makes the experience smooth and reliable. Plus, the on-time ticket delivery and lowest price guarantee gave me peace of mind. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNBA for $10 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create that account, redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
What's up, guys? This is KG Tang, voice of Sanami Shinizugawa and Demon Slayer, and you're watching Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
Hey, we're back right here on Locked On Spurs with Nathan Ray Clark. He is from Corpus Christi, Texas. You might recognize him from familiar shows such as Two Broke Girls, Modern Family, and a new show that's out right now. He's going to brag about that in just a few minutes on how you can support him, everybody, by tuning in and checking him out, doing what he does best, entertaining everybody on the big screen and small screen. So that's coming up in just a few seconds. But why is Nathan here? Because he's giving us the fan episode spotlight. Yeah, we're putting the spotlight on the Spurs fan base. Nathan's giving us his personal opinion and then trying to sum up what the fan base feels regarding the Spurs at the mid-season point. Now, in the first segment, we talked about the guards, just quickly got his thoughts. Let's quickly get your thoughts on the bigs. By the way, before we start talking about the bigs, streets are saying that you once held Wembanyama to 2 points in 48 minutes and dunked on him. Is that true, Nathan?
Look, I mean, I don't want to make the kid look bad or anything. He's having a decent career right now, and I certainly don't want that to affect his ego moving forward, his confidence. Yeah. So,
I heard he paid you a lot of money to, zip it.
Yes, many baguettes, and bottles of wine and breakfast tacos. Actually, apparently,
there you go. Yeah,
he's a big fan of breakfast tacos. So,
yeah, exactly. All right, Nathan. So a couple of days ago, we also talked about the bigs. That includes Wemby, Zach Collins, Bassey. We threw in Big Mamu out there as well. What are your overall thoughts about the bigs so far?
Well, if Wemby wasn't there, it probably would be an F-.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, look, Wemby's A's all day. I don't know what much else you can say about the guy. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. I was just looking at the stats earlier today between him and Anthony Davis, and I saw Anthony Davis in an interview.
I knew that. I knew you were going to bring that up.
Talking about it. I'm sure everybody's seen it or whatever. And I was, so I had to look at the stats, and I already knew. The kid, what is it? He's already got 150 blocks midway in the season.
Yeah, insane.
If he's got that already, he's bound to hit like 300 by the end of the season.
Yeah.
There's really no point in. We all know the grade that he's going to get.
Yeah, we know it.
He's first in the class, teacher's pet. A+. Yeah. Going on to Collins, man.
I know.
That opening game of the season, you remember, against Dallas?
Yeah.
And what happens? Like Collins, what was it? His hand came from underneath the basket.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ended up scoring points for the other team because of that for Dallas. I saw that and I was like, you know what, man? I've been one of your defenders for a while, and I'm just like, man, I can't really do it. I like him, at times when he plays well, and he gets in this defensive mindset. Like I've seen him, go nose to nose with some guys. I'm like, all right, he's got a little bit of dog in him. I like it, but just, I don't really see it, and I kind of think he's a liability. And to be honest with Bassi and Mamu, I really haven't seen much from these guys. Like,
I agree.
I mean, is it just me, or like the bench? I don't really see much of the bench players these days. Like,
Yeah, well, Mitch has shortened that rotation since Pop's absence.
yeah,
He's starting to loosen it up a little bit. You're starting to see more minutes from Mamu, but not as it was under Pop. But no, you're right. I didn't mean to cut you off though, but I just want to, before I forget, going back to Collins here. He's a fit somewhere. I don't know if it's San Antonio. That's the thing. When I hear words that being thrown at the Spurs, like, oh, they're soft, nothing. I don't think Zach Collins soft. I think he brings that kind of value, that toughness, ruggedness there. It's just the fit. They remember rookie Wemby season. It was they did a twin tower, light.
yeah.
Starting, it was Collins and Wemby. They started, so they thought something was there. Didn't work out. Moved to the bench. Overall, just not a floor spacer in modern NBA. Just just the, you got Bassi there too. He's, at least Bassi's an energizer bunny. He's gonna defend the rim. He's gonna block shots. He's gonna rim run. He's gonna do all that stuff. But with Bassi, again, he's very limited, very, very limited. What he can do. So, but I think you're right. You brought up Mamu and Bassi. For those two guys, the victim of minutes and just having a guy by the name of Wemby ahead of you in the rotation, Nathan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those guys, I have to give Bassi and Mamu collectively an incomplete.
Okay, fair enough. And but you think about this too. That contract they gave Zach Collins, it's pretty hefty. It's hefty.
I mean,
yeah.
Hopefully using that as, for a trade, maybe. Yeah. Throw it in there with like a first round pick. I mean, I know Spurs are going to end up doing a trade here at some point in the near future. They kind of need to.
They kind of need
upgrade.
Yeah.
But hopefully we throw Zach Collins in for Laurie Mark.
There you go.
That would scoop in the pot. I'm sure Danny Ainge would go for that. So
yeah, Danny Ainge is, they don't call him one of the most difficult GMs to work with for a reason. The guy wants to get one over on every team, every single trade he makes. But
yeah,
the Spurs definitely got a second shot at it this coming off season. So
yeah,
we'll see it in Spurs, Jason. Hey Nathan, overall though, just positions aside and whatever. What is your grade for the team so far at the midseason point, and where do you think fans would land on the grading scale?
So for myself, I'm actually gonna say like a C- D+.
Okay.
And or even like a C to a certain degree. And the reason I say that is because like they're not particularly doing great, but considering the last couple seasons that they've played, like this is such a huge improvement over. I mean, my God, last couple seasons they'd been like what 20, 22. Yeah. Right now they're at 20 wins for the season. We're at the halfway point. So that's fantastic. They've been at 500 for the most part most of this season, but then with the last like few games or so, and they got this little losing streak happening, now that's kind of knocked them down a little bit, but not much. I mean, 20-23 record. It's not horrible.
Terrible, yeah.
Yeah. My hope going into the season was like, well, I mean, if they can make the play-in, then that's that's something. And I think there's a lot of fans out there who realistically are expecting them to get to the play-in. Not that it really means much, but I mean it is nice to see the progress of the team. But for right now, I would say that a D for me, like a D+ would really be leaning towards because of like 3-point shooting or whatever.
No.
I mean, and that's just not the Spurs. That's the whole league right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks, they're going to go ahead and shoot the three. And I've seen enough games, especially with like Spurs games lately, to where like shooting the three, miss, go to the other side of the court, come back, shoot the three, miss. I'm just like, dude, mid-range game. Like that was the thing I think with DeMar DeRozan that kind of drove me nuts was like the guy didn't shoot threes. He was always mid-range game. And that was his thing. He was fantastic at it. Now I'm like, can we please get back to mid-range game here? I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Spurs, when you got a 7'5", 7'4" alien, when you think they would dominate the paint, and they do, the defensive numbers are there. We know what Wemby can do, but he's modern big. He likes to play above the 3 line. He likes to shoot half court shots, or at least near the logo. That's just the way he is, and the Spurs have embraced that. Yeah, they're trying to be better, and look. I get why Spurs fans pull their hair out sometimes. Like, Wemby, what are you doing? You're 11, whatever you are. Go dominate. But there he is taking threes, and Spurs fans are throwing their TV out the window. It's like, what are you doing? But look, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That is the modern NBA. Look, Wemby's not the only one, too. Joker does it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Joker, he takes those threes. He makes them. Wemby takes those threes. He makes them. That's just the modern big now, and you're going to start seeing that. I'm not sure. I don't know if Chet Holmgren, if he's a 3-point gunner. I don't think he is. I think he's still that dominant, more of a mid-range to paint guy. But overall, though, what do you think Spurs fans would say?
Spurs fans, I'm probably going to say they'll probably say like between a C and a D as well. Okay. And I think that's just because like maybe like a C+ to between D+, something like that. Just because I know I know the standards that Spurs fans hold their team to. There's definitely a lot of positives from this season, but also I think if anything, the lower grade would be more so focused towards like front office and how they put together the team, and it's like, why do we have this person? We need to get this other person in right now. So I think those are things that I think that's mostly what a lot of fans are unhappy about. Other than it's a young team. They're still trying to come together. At the same time, however, tick, tick, tick. You got time running here on Wemby.
Yeah, exactly. You're not the only one that says that too. Chris Paul has been pretty much on that train since he's been here, saying enough of this young bleep. This is not we're not going that route. We can learn and win at the same time. So he's been really pushing that. But hopefully, the Spurs will turn it around. They got the road trip coming up. Still got a lot of games left to play. I think the play-in is kind of on shaky ground right now. They'll have to have a really nice surge in the second half of the season. Hopefully that'll happen, because if not, another season of no play-in at minimum doesn't bode well. And the Spurs have to make some big news. But we're not ready to let Nathan go quite yet, because he has trivia. Yes, I think we're going to start playing the game show music, Nathan. Yeah, I guess you'll probably insert that in post right now. We're just playing game show music, because Nathan not only is going to be handling the trivia, he's going to show you what you're going to be winning if you do get the trivia right. And another little treat he has for you. So what you got there, Nathan?
Well, so what we're doing here is thought a little something fun, because I don't think it's ever been done here on the pod before. But I want to do a little trivia. We're going to throw out 4 trivia questions for the Spurs fans, for whoever's watching out there. And what I want you to do is, after you watch this, go to my Twitter at nathanrayclark.com. And I want you to @ me and @ Jeff as well.
Thank you.
And Locked On Spurs. And then I want you to give me the answers. Again, 4 questions. You get them all right. Bam. There you go. Visa gift card. 40 big ones. 40 big ones. So you can spend that at, Burger Boy or Mudslingers if you're in the San Antonio area, or, spend it on a nice dinner at Ruth Chris. I'm sure $40 will get a salad.
Or go to Bear County Social and get Nathan a t-shirt from there.
Right on. Right. Exactly. Yeah. They have a Dia de los Muertes Spurs shirt. So I got my eye on that.
All right. Cool, man. So what's the trivia you got for us?
Okay, so first question is this, and I think this is relatively simple. So,
Okay.
how many consecutive 50-plus win seasons have the Spurs had?
So I'm writing them down here. So consecutive 50-plus win seasons, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the first question, everybody, is how many consecutive 50-win seasons have the Spurs had? So there's your first question right off the bat.
Question number one. Question number two. Now, this is going to be a little trickier. You're probably going to have to pull out your Googles for this. So the question I got is, which Spurs player, since we're talking about blocks with Wemby, which Spurs player had recorded the most blocks with 320 in a single season?
Ooh.
In a single season. We're not talking about overall.
Yeah, and in one season, right?
One season.
I got it. It's Nathan Ray Clark. It's got to be Nathan Ray Clark. Right?
Close.
Okay, well, close. All right.
It's
Well, yeah.
it's Roger Mason.
It's Lloyd Daniels, Sweet Pete Lloyd Daniels.
Sweet Pete Lloyd, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so the next question here, it's Spurs related. It's not necessarily the team, but it's also movie trivia as well.
Oh,
So-
interesting.
So in the movie Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell, he plays a down and out basketball player on an ABA basketball team, and at the climax of the film, they play against the San Antonio Spurs.
Right.
Now, question is this: what is the name of Will Ferrell's team in the movie?
So Will Ferrell's team. All right, I'm writing it down here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it.
All right. And then final question, and this is kind of a trick question. This is really more for me than anyone else. But so during the 2007 semifinals, Western Conference semifinals against the Phoenix Suns,
Mm-hmm.
who was the MVP of that series?
Oh. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't help it, Nathan. I couldn't help it. Sorry.
I don't know if I should give a clue for this or not. Do you think this is clue worthy?
No, I think it's obvious worthy, but sure. Yeah, look, this is your game. Whatever you want to do. You want to help the fans out a little bit to give them some 40 big ones right there. You let us know.
I don't know, like, because I know, like, legit Spurs fan is going to know what this is, but I'll say this: this player was kind enough to show Steve Nash the scorers table.
All right,
So,
there you go. All right, there's your clue, everybody.
that's all I can say on that. So yes, so again, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up, add in Jeff, and add in Locked On Spurs
Yeah.
Twitter account, and give me the right answers, and you will get this. $40, 40 big ones.
$40 gift card right
Yeah.
there, mailed due from Nathan Ray Clark. Once again, the questions are: how many consecutive 50-plus win seasons the Spurs have had? Which Spurs player recorded the most blocks? 320 blocks in a season. Movie trivia: Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell. What is the name of Will Ferrell's team in that movie? And this one should be whatever. The 2007 semi-finals, Western Conference, Spurs v. Suns. Who was the MVP of that series? And there you have it. Again, let Ray know your answers on X at Nathan Ray Clark. Tag in Locked On Spurs and myself at Jeff G Spurs Zone. You can see it on your screen right there. Do that right now. But we're not ready to let Nathan go. By the way, thank you, Nathan, for your generosity for doing this for Spurs fans. It should be a fun one to monitor on the socials once this gets out. You, my good friend, are in a new series that is out now. Why don't you tell all the Spurs fans how they can check it out? What is the name of it? Your role, all that good stuff. We got to know, Nathan.
So so I got a couple of things going on right now. So first thing, I was in recently was in an episode of a show called Rescue High Surf. It's on Fox on Monday nights. My episode actually aired not this past Monday, but the Monday before. That was on January 20th. So episode came out. I was great. I loved the reaction I got from people. I will have to say this, and I mentioned this before on the pod. So in Corpus Christi, my family business was like a sightseeing party boat business.
Yeah.
So, so in the show, I play like a two-faced politician, which is kind of an oxymoron. but in the office, they asked me if like a picture, if I had like a picture I could put up, whatever. So my family business was a sightseeing boat. So I was able to get that picture in on the desk, and which is really cool and personal to me, to see that. And then to show family, that it's, oh my God, we're famous. And it's like, not quite, but we got a little cameo in there. So a little bit of home, for me. But anyways, the episode is streaming. It's called Riptide, episode 10, season 1. And that's streaming right now on Hulu. So you could check that out. Also, next Monday on February 3rd, I got an episode of NCIS coming out. So you're going to be able to turn with that. Yeah. So I'm super stoked about that. That's a fun role. I'd love to share some more about it, but I would be spoiling the episode. I'd be spoiling my role, and it's definitely worth checking out. And I know the Spurs got a game that night. So I'll say this: set your DVR if you still have it, or you can also watch the episode the next day on Paramount Plus.
There you go.
So NCIS is on CBS, but the next day, on Monday, February the 4th, Tuesday, it'll be on Paramount Plus. So
Yeah, and that's for the NCIS, correct?
That's the NCIS.
Yeah, that's the NCIS. And then, but Riptide is available right now on Hulu, right?
Yeah, so it's Rescue High Surf. Okay. The episode is named Riptide. So if you're
all right, there you go. Everybody, go help and support Nathan. He's a big time Spurs fan. Doing it right over there in California, representing the silver and black is on your screen. NCIS, Hulu, Riptide. He is everywhere. Seriously, it's hard to keep up with you sometimes, Nathan. It really is. It's hard, I'm waiting for just the day where you somehow sneak in a Los Locked On Spurs Easter egg in one of your episodes.
For sure, dude. I've already created. I've written and shot whatever. I always sneak in Spurs stuff. I'll sneak in. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Did a whole episode of me and a friend playing basketball, and all I'm doing is trying to shoot and yell out Ginobili every time and completely miss.
You gotta send that to me, please. I think you may have, but just send it to me one more time.
Yeah, for sure. But
awesome.
anytime I can work in Spurs, Shiner, or whatever else from South Texas, I do.
Yeah. By the way, people in San Antonio and some close friends are also saying that you're more puro than Mikey Menace. So keep that flip.
I don't want to hate on Mike, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I know that. Like everybody, it's like there's not a day that goes by where he doesn't get dunked on. Seriously, he can say something like, "Oh, I'm just enjoying breakfast right here at Bill Miller's," and then they would just come at him.
It's on some sort of level of karma. I think that's what it is. I think that's why.
So?
I think so. I'm sure Mike's a nice guy. I've been on his show once. Haven't been back again.
See, there it is. That's why you're getting dunked on, Jimenez. That's why you're getting dunked on. But he's like the little brother. Like if anybody else does mess with him, like San Antonio would attack that person. So
true.
That's the thing.
True.
Yeah. He is Nathan Ray Clark, good friend of the show. Follow him on X at Nathan Ray Clark. Do that right now. And don't forget the trivia. Mm-hmm. Go get yourself $40 gift card. He has it right there. He's dying to mail it out to a winner.
I can't do anything with this.
Yeah, you see?
I can't. You can.
Like buying Nathan Bear County Social Apparel gear. Look at that. There's something there. But no, all jokes aside, Nathan, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I'm glad you were safe in California. And again, if you want to help those in need from the wildfires, just hit the rewind button. Nathan told you how you can do that and do that ASAP. Once again, he is Nathan Ray Clark. Follow him on X at Nathan Ray Clark. Don't forget, NCIS, February 3rd, Monday, CBS, and then on Paramount, Nathan's on there. And of course, go to Hulu, look for the episode of Riptide on what show one more time?
Rescue High Surf.
Rescue High Surf. So there you have it. Go check out Nathan right now.
And we thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Subscribe to Locked On Spurs wherever you get your favorite podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Kids, WhatsApp, you know where to go. Subscribe to the Locked On Spurs newsletter, available right now if you're on YouTube. Click the description below. There's a link there, LO Spurs newsletter. Can't miss it. Click on that, completely free. Hits your inbox every single day. We'll be back tomorrow talking all things silver and black. And then we got Mike Jimenez on deck. Yeah, we're going to continue our reaction to the Darren Fox news and so much more as the Spurs season continues. So for Nathan Ray Clark, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock in this episode of Locked On Spurs.